never know what you do out there in the fucking pit.
Hey, I'm Spike from D.R.I, and I'm sitting here with Rodney, and we're going to do a little CD-ography here of the D.R.I CDs over the past 14 years. We have about 8 of them, I think. Okay. So we're going to start right here from the top. This is the first release, or the first album. It was at one time an album only, or actually a 7-inch only, a 33-speed 7-inch. We pressed 1,000 of them. It was called the Dirty Rotten LP, or EP, when it first came out. And what we did after that is we wound up putting out an EP called Violent Pacification, taking those 2 records, those 2 EPs, putting them on a CD. And there you go, there it is. The first D.R.I CD, or the first album. We recorded this in 1982, 16 tracks, about 16 hours, and it was real quick and real cheap, and it sounds like it, and I don't know, that's I guess one of our first little claims to history there. This thing took off like crazy for some reason. I don't know if it was how fast we were, or just how many songs were on a 7-inch record or something like that, but people ate it up, and we got rid of those 1,000 copies in no time, and we wound up having to repress, and so it came out on CD. There it is. Okay, next off, we got Dealing With It, classic, which was also recorded by ourselves. We paid for it. We did this one in Houston. No? Yeah, Houston, just like this one. Sorry. In Houston, and we took it on the road with us before it actually came out. We were starting to look for tours and whatnot, and we took it with us to California, and we started rehearsing in Pomona. And at the time, Caton from Hyrax, who was on Metal Blade, came to one of our rehearsals and was talking to us, saying that he liked us, he heard about us, blah, blah, blah. And we started talking to him, and he found out that we had this new record that wasn't out yet. And he said, you know, you should go down and talk to Brian Slagle from Metal Blade Records. And so I did, and we had a great little conversation, and sure enough, sooner or later it came out. First Metal Blade record release was Dealing With It. This one we did, like I was saying, in Houston. We did it with Dan Yaney, who was working with like ZZ Top and working with space shuttle communications and whatnot, and he was a real cool guy, and he actually got us some good sounds there, and I was happy with that. Especially being a producer now, I look at these like cringe when I listen to this one. It's like, oh my god, it sounds so terrible. This one's coming around a little bit. This one's got a little bit better production values, and it seems to be like everybody's favorite, Dealing With It. Oh yeah, let's get into the Madman thing. You had to ask me about the Madman. The song Madman has this little talking intro with some guy like yelling and calling people a bunch of dirty, rotten imbeciles and stuff like that. That is all real. It was our third practice ever as a band. We had a little ghetto blaster set up and just recording, you know, to see what we could sound like or see what we sounded like because we had no clue. And the Madman, Kurt's dad, comes home from work about 15 minutes after we start making this horrible noise, you know, in volumes that he can handle. He comes in and he kicks the door down and he says, you know, what are you doing in here? It's too loud, you bunch of imbeciles, get out of here. This is my house, I come home to relax, and that's all real. It took us about 2 years to actually use it and put it on a record, but it is real.
The next song's about free food. Dark soup kitchen. Start talking about it now. We just hang it out. The guy said, this is your blues. Oh, is that all you got to do? Let's see
Here's the one that everybody says was the change, Crossover. After we came out with this one, well, before this, okay, let's go way back again. Here we were as a hardcore punk band. That's what we considered ourselves, that's what everybody considered ourselves, and that's what we wanted to be. We started learning how to play our instruments a little bit better and writing a little bit better and getting influenced by bands like Slayer and Metallica right around this time. And some of that shows up on the songwriting. The songs are a little bit more metallic, a little bit more powerful and maybe heavier, would be a good word. But then again, there's a lot of hardcore punk on this as well. This is the one where we started attracting the metal fans. They started liking this, and all of a sudden we were starting to be called a crossover band, which is a band that put metal and punk together and mixed it up in a big soup or whatever, and they started calling us Crossover. So we came out with this album called Crossover. This was the first record we actually got a budget for Metal Blade and recorded with a decent-sized budget. And I think that's another step in production. I think the production on this takes another step above this too, and it sounds pretty good. I was real happy with it back when it came out. Nowadays, it's still an antique to me. But I don't know. This is another milestone. This is the one where people say we sold out and became a metal band, and I don't know. They think we got like all these mansions and cars or something like that, but really we were still sleeping under cars and in trees and eating in soup kitchens. I don't know what else to talk about this besides I wound up writing most of this album myself, lyric and music wise, because we were on a tight budget for time. We just had to come out with an album. We really didn't have much material prepared. Kurt didn't have much lyrics, and I just wound up just knocking out my own songs, and nobody else really helped out, and so most of them are on here. I wrote like 80-something% of this record. Maybe that's why it sounds so metallic or something, or so metal. But it wasn't on purpose. Anyway, any questions about that one?
When you put the logo on the cover, the skank guy.
That's the Mosher, or the Skank Man, or the Skanker. And that's the first time he actually looks metallic as well. He's chrome in this one. And I don't know, to talk about that, this logo here that we've been using forever, it stands for thrashing, moshing, slamming. And since there's no line through it, it means it's permitted. We like it, we want you to do it. We don't want you to get hurt, though. We just want you to have fun. And it makes us have fun. We see you guys having a good time out there. Okay.
Yeah, we'll take a break.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. This brings us to Four of a Kind, which was the fourth release, and that's why it's named Four of a Kind. What can I say about this one? This is probably the first album we actually spent more than 2 weeks writing. We took our time, maybe a few months on this one, and tried to put together some good songs and whatnot, and tried not to have so much filler. This was the second album that we actually got a recording budget to record in, and went to a killer studio in Los Angeles with Bill Matoyer once again, and recorded this one. Bill's a cool guy. He taught me a lot about producing. I learned a lot from him, and I appreciate that. Thanks, Bill. Let's see. What else can I say about this? We really don't play too many songs on this one. I don't know why, but a lot of people tell me this is their favorite album. It's like either this one or this one. If you're a punk, you like this one. If you're a rocker or something, you like this one or something. It's kind of weird. I really don't understand it, but we really only play Slumlord and Shoots the Tie Guy from this one lately. We used to play All for Nothing and Mankind, but now that we have 140-something songs, this is probably the album that has the least amount of songs we play live on. I'm at a loss.
Well, we can just move on.
Let's move on. Thrash Zone, our last release with Metal Blade. Once again, Bill Matoyer and myself did this one. First time or second time I actually got production credit. No pictures. A lot of lyrics, though. We always try to put all the lyrics in our records because we feel that the kids should be able to read them and know what we're talking about rather than just have to figure it out. And we feel we have a lot of important messages to say in our lyrics, so that's one of the reasons we try to put them in. We played quite a few songs off of this. Still, Abduction, Beneath the Wheel, Thrash Hard. This is the first song we're playing tonight. Let's see, and this is also the last album we did with the lineup we had for quite a while, which was myself, Kurt, Felix, and John Lenore. Then, shortly after this, Felix quit for the 450th time or something like that. But this time, he wound up getting himself in a lot of trouble and not being able to join again. So, we moved on, and we came out with Definition, which is the first real release on Rotten Records. Years ago, when we did the first record, that was on Dirty Rotten Records, and it was kind of a affiliation with another label called R Radical, which we completely disbanded after signing with Metal Blade. And after 5 years of being with Metal Blade, we got our records back. And we wanted to keep them all available to you guys, so we decided to make Rotten Records so that we could keep our records in the stores. After we left Metal Blade, here's what happened. We came up with our first real Rotten Records release for a D.R.I. record, and there it is, Definition. We thought we would define what a dirty, rotten imbecile is right there on the front for you, in case you didn't know. And we really worked hard on this record. We spent, once again, more time than any other record writing the songs, throwing away songs, saying they're not good enough and whatnot. We recorded in our own hometown for the first time. Usually in the past we spent, weeks in a hotel and whatnot and uncomfortable. And this time we just stayed at home and went to our local studio in San Francisco there, in the Bay Area. Recorded this one. I was real happy when it came out. I'm still happy. I really think this one sounds good as well. Like quite a few songs on it. I like the application and whatnot. Acid Rain is probably the big hit from it. Also worked with a new guy on this one for the first time, which was Jim Faraci, who was a roommate of Dormitories from way back when, and me and Jim did this one together, and I'm real happy with that. then the crap hit the fan. And of course, our bass player quit again. And in case you didn't know, up to this point, D.R.I has gone through 7 or 8 bass players and 4 or 5 drummers. And I don't know what it is, but we can't keep drummers and bass players in this band for some reason. So we wound up auditioning people, and we had a roadie that knew a bunch of songs, and he was fitting right in. And it looked like, well, rather than audition 50 bass players, let's just get him to join, and this way we could start recording and writing a new album and everything like that. And so we did it. We went for it, and the new guy was called Chumley. He's our new bass player. And we knew it was going to be a while before we had a record coming out, because we were going to teach him how to play all the old songs and write a new album, and we knew we were going to take our time and write good songs, and we knew the studio was going to take a while, and after the studio was going to take a while for the album to come out. So we did this. This is a live show from our tour in 1992 with John before he quit. And we recorded a bunch of songs right to DAT, and this is one of them. It was the Hollywood Palladium. And we thought we would just go ahead and release it as it is, not try to do the normal thing what bands do, overdubbing the mistakes, adding whatever, crowd cheering and stuff like that to make it seem better or whatever. We just left it live. All the mistakes are there. All the quiet spots with no cheering are there. All the people yelling, "Fuck you, you suck." Can I say that? Well, I did. That's all on. That's all there. Nothing's been taken out. Nothing's been put in. It's all real. From the Hollywood Palladium. It's about an hour's worth. It's our opening set. We were opening up for Testament on this tour. And it came out pretty good for what it is. It was actually mixed and recorded or engineered by Johnny Triple J, our old sound man. And I got a chance to go into a studio in about 2 hours to like touch it up mixing-wise. Did what I could. Overall, it's good, especially for a live album. Definitely the best live D.R.I I've heard. There's probably a few bootlegs out there better, but I haven't heard them. Which brings us up to date. Full Speed Ahead, the latest release. This came out, I believe, November last year of '95. It's been out a few months, whatever it is. Here we are now at the beginning of '96. It's February. We're on tour, pushing this record. A lot of people like this, especially the old fans that like the hardcore stuff. They say we took a step back towards dealing with it with this one. I have to agree. We tried to be a little bit more aggressive, a little faster, a little more energetic, and we also took another step into a different direction, into D.R.I's maybe future or just another branch. Just leave it at that, another branch of the music. And we slowed down and got heavier as well on a few songs. And I really like this one. The first record I got to produce all by myself. And I'm really happy with the way it came out. A lot of good songs on this. We put 16 on it. It's close to 60 minutes long, I believe. So you get your money's worth out of it as well. And if you let it play forever and ever and ever after the last song, there's a little hidden tune there. Almost like a lullaby. Put you to sleep. So this is called Full Speed Ahead. We had no idea that the Navy was going to release their new slogan as Full Speed Ahead. Join the Navy, Full Speed Ahead. That really surprised the hell out of me. Just like 2 weeks after our record came out, I was watching TV and seeing that, and I was like, oh, great.
That's what their political stand.
Yeah. So here we are, us and the U.S. Navy, Full Speed Ahead. So that about brings us up to date.
You going to do a best of, or is that the live album?
Well, that's what we consider to be the best of. We figure this is probably better anyway. It gives us more of the live feeling, which is what D.R.I is really all about.
Right.
Especially in the first earlier records, we really didn't get, I don't know, we really didn't capture the energy. You know, that's one thing that disappointed me about those records. There's a loss for energy. It's all like too separated, too stale. to mechanical, and we worked on that with this one as well, trying to get the energy. I think we helped quite a bit getting it. I don't know. It's just we captured a lot of the energy that we released live, like this one, on this one. And like you were saying, this would be the best of, I guess. The whole reason being is because we don't want to put together just a record with songs on it from this one and songs on it from the first one, or, you know, whatever we got going here, dealing with it. They just sound so radically different, it throws you for a loop, you know, the production quality. Maybe it's just me being a producer now, but it drives me nuts putting one of these songs right after one of these songs or whatever. So, there it is. There's the greatest hits as well. Cool.